is my first day as a full-time aspiring author, and I am so thrilled that this day is finally here. It took a lot longer than I thought to actually get here. I quit my job, my last day was almost 3 weeks ago, and I thought I would be jumping right into my book right away, but as you saw in my last vlog, I also moved, and my time has been consumed over the last few weeks with moving, packing up my things, organizing everything, the whole move and transfer and everything, and then also trying to sell my house at the same time and move into this apartment. It has been absolutely crazy. I finally have a day. I've been in my apartment for almost a week now, and I finally have a day where I can actually focus on my book. I spent the last week running errands, going to stores, getting things that I need. I've also been walking around a little bit, familiarizing myself with the city, and I finally have time to dedicate to my book. I will be spending the entire day working on my book, so it is currently the morning. It's like 8:30. I'm going to eat some breakfast really fast, and the first thing I'm gonna do is refamiliarize myself with my novel. It has been almost 2 weeks since the last time I worked on this book, and even the last time I worked on this book wasn't a lot of time. And since I'm going to be working on this pretty much every day moving forward, I really want to get a clear picture of where I am, what needs to be done, and what I'm writing next. This morning after I eat breakfast, I am going to kind of review my journal notes, look at some ideas I had for the last third of my book, and I'm also going to reread some of the last things that I wrote in my novel just because I really don't remember. I also want to compare the ideas I had with what I've written and see kind of what I need to do next. Do I need to do more planning? Can I jump into writing? I'm just not really sure. So I have quite a few hours until lunchtime. I'm gonna go ahead and start my review, and hopefully by the end of my review, which shouldn't take very long, maybe like an hour, I should have a better understanding of where I need to go from here. After lunch, I spent most of the morning just thinking about my book and planning it and trying to figure out where to go from here. I think I've got a good idea, but I have some concepts that are occurring a little bit later on in the writing that I still need to flesh out a little bit more. It's going to be a very detailed sequence of scenes, and so before I start writing those, I'm going to really need to know how those scenes will play out. I did have a really difficult time this morning getting back into the writing headspace. I have been just so mentally exhausted from all of the moving and everything that's been going on in my life, and the fact that I haven't been working on my book consistently over the last probably 2 months, it has really affected my creative flow, and it's just not there. It's gonna take time to get that back. I found myself getting easily distracted just because there is stuff to do. I'm still not, even with the little amount of stuff I brought, I'm still not completely unpacked, and I'm still trying to wrap up things where I used to live, and so I just keep thinking about all this stuff I have to do. I just feel like in general, I've lost a lot of the momentum that I had when I was writing before. It took me a lot longer to figure things out and to make a plan and kind of decide what I needed to do in terms of what's next and the next steps. I thought I would be doing that for an hour and I'd get back into writing, and I ended up working on it for, 2 or 3 hours because mentally it was just hard for me to focus and concentrate on what I needed to do. Also, it is just really strange knowing that this is the only thing I have to work on. I'm just so used to having a job, and then writing and working on my book is something I do in my free time. And I think because of that, I was always really dedicated in my free time to okay, writing zone. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna spend this hour. And I would get really in the zone. Now, because it's something I can do at any time of the day, all day long, it's hard for my brain to get, I don't want to say motivated, but it's hard for my brain to recognize the fact that I'm working on this all day long. I don't usually start working on my book in the mornings, which is probably also really weird because I started at like 9 o'clock this morning. But with all that being said, I'm finally ready to write, and I'm very excited about it because I love writing. And I know where I'm going to go for probably the next a few chapters at least. So that'll give me, I think I'll be able to write today without stopping. I may do a little brainstorming later just to break things up. So it's after lunch. I'm going to write for most of the afternoon. I will take a break in the middle just to give myself a little rest. I plan on going for a short walk and maybe doing something else around the apartment. And then I'll get back into writing before dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't have any word count goals for today. I'm not sure how this is gonna go just because mentally I don't know if I'm prepared to write all day, even though I've known I was gonna do it. I've only really done it on the weekends. I've never done it consistently. And this is the start of me doing it consistently. And so I don't know how my brain's gonna handle it, but I'm excited to find out. I've had a pretty busy afternoon. I did go for quite a long walk. I was gone for like an hour. But other than that, I wrote or tried to write most of the time. I will say I wasn't as productive with my writing as I had hoped to be. It did take me a long time to get into it mentally. And then also I hit this part of a scene where there was a lot of dialogue, and I have struggled with dialogue this whole time because a lot of times when I write something, I just think, that's not the best way for the character to say it. And then I get confused about how the next character is going to respond. So it leads to me doing a lot of writing and deleting and staring at it and wondering. I wrote 865 words this afternoon over the course of, taking out my walk. I wrote that many words in about 3.5 hours. Which really is not good. But again, I did get some distractions. I had to take a telephone call, but I'd say most of it was just me trying to get through this dialogue scene. I did spend a lot of time on the dialogue scene. And then also in addition to that, the scene following that, a lot of times I have an idea for a scene, and then when I write it, it's very short, like a few paragraphs, and then I don't know what to write after that. And then I'm wondering what to do with that scene because you can't really have a scene that's like 2 paragraphs. I'm going to take a break for now. I need to cook dinner. I need to do a few other things, and I will get back into writing. I'm probably only going to write for another hour or so after dinner. I have to do laundry and a whole bunch of other things, and I just really won't have much time to write, while I'm doing all this stuff. So I'm going to have dinner, write for about an hour, and then I will catch back up with you and kind of recap how my first day as a full-time author has gone. I'm done for the day. I just wrote for about 45 minutes. And it was really productive. I've got a good idea of where I'm going with the story, and where I stopped is a good stopping point. So that way the next time I write, I can pick up kind of the beginning of this important event. And that'll give me some time to write and figure that out later. So I have finished at 1,284 words. I think earlier I was around 850. So that means I wrote about 400 words in 45 minutes, which is really great. I'm happy with that. Wait, no. Oh my gosh, I just realized I am so close to 2/3 of the way done with this book. I'm at 65,984 words. Once I hit 66,000, that's going to be for me officially 2/3 of the way done with this book. That's insane. I have so much left that I want to write, and I only have 1/3 of the book left. I do think it will work out because I haven't really looked back at the first chapters, but I kind of remember what I wrote. And I think I'm going to end up cutting a lot of the first part of the book, which will make room for this last third of the book if I tend to go over 100,000 words, which I think I will. That's really exciting. I'm so close to 2/3 of the way done. This has been a crazy adventure so far. Lots of ups and downs, but I'm hoping over the next month it will start to become more consistent and I will have more time to work on it. Overall, I had a really nice day. I wish I could have spent more time tonight working on it, but I just have some things I've got to take care of. I will say one of the things I really noticed in this entire day of writing was my lack of a couch. I still don't have my furniture for moving. All I have is this camper chair, which really is comfortable for like 15 minutes. And I have basically sat in this position, in this chair, all day long while writing. And normally with my furniture, I can sit on different sides of the couch. I can lay down, I can sit up, I can prop a pillow on my lap and use my laptop that way. I can even sit at my desk. I don't have any of these things. This is literally the only thing I have to sit on. I have an air mattress in my bedroom, so that's not really comfortable either. And I found that it just got really, I don't want to say boring, but I just got kind of tired over the course of the day of sitting in the same spot and writing in the same position. I found myself getting up a lot to take breaks and just to get out of my chair. Especially in the beginning when I was feeling a little stuck, I was just like, oh, I wish I could move around and do something and be in a different position just to see if that would work. So yeah, I'm really missing my comfortable writing setup because honestly, this isn't that comfortable and I think that's affecting the way I'm writing and my ability to write. Unfortunately, I can't change that until my furniture comes and it's gonna be a few more weeks, which is gonna be awful, but I have to make do. This was a really enlightening day though, in terms of what it would be like to be a full-time author. I think in the future, I need to structure my time a little better. I just said, oh, I'm gonna work on my book today. And I didn't really have any solid plans or goals, which is fine. It was my first day back into writing after quite some time, so I wasn't really sure what I could accomplish or what some good goals were. But now that I've had some time to work through things today, I think it's important for me to set goals or at least tasks to complete during the day. Also, I don't think it's probably realistic to write my book for hours every single day, at least not right now. I have too much stuff going on in my life to truly work on this every day. The other thing I noticed today was how relaxed I was. Even though I had these goals of writing and I was working on my book, I wasn't stressed out. I was very relaxed, I was having fun, and I was enjoying myself. And even when I came up with some problems that I had to address with my writing itself, I didn't get frustrated or mad or upset. And I think that's really nice because that's something that when I was working a 9-to-5 job, I would get so upset and frustrated over the littlest things. And I'm hitting roadblocks with this from time to time. I'm not getting very frustrated or upset with it, which is great. So that's it for my first day as a full-time author. I'm excited to be doing this more every day, and I can't wait to see the progress I make on my book.